Well, good morning, everybody. Bob here. Today, I want to talk about doing the right thing at work. Uh, and this is part of my Ill-Formed Idea Friday series. And this was informed by a piece that I was writing recently and some comments I got from an editor. But I've been thinking through, how do we know if we're doing the right thing or not? How do we know if what we're doing is a good thing or a bad thing? And I was working through a bit of a dilemma myself recently and examining some cases that were in public for a piece of writing that I'm doing that I'll share in a few weeks. And I got a comment back from my editor, and she said, you keep using the word ethical here and moral here, and you're using them in very much the same way, but they are really different things. This is kind of a pedantic comment, as all good editors are. She can be a little pedantic at times. But it really got me thinking not only about the distinction itself from a language standpoint, but what the distinction can help us do when it comes to working through dilemmas and thinking through dilemmas at work. Because I feel like these two things are often in conflict. So it's the distinction I want to make here is between ethics and morals. So morals are really concerned with the principles of right and wrong behavior, or the goodness or badness of human character or human behavior. Like what we do, is it good, is it bad? And obviously there are a lot of different moral systems out there, from Stoicism to Epicureanism to utilitarianism, right? We can look at things through different lenses, and I think this is really, really valuable. Ethics, on the other hand, actually refers to a code of conduct, right? And so these two things can come into conflict. For instance, if you were in the mafia, there might be a code of conduct, or there is a code of conduct of silence, right? That the family's business stays inside the family. But of course, the family is also committing crimes and maybe hurting people. And so breaking that ethical code might be the moral thing to do. And I believe that's a very clear distinction, right? But I believe in business, we are often faced with similar ethical versus moral dilemmas. For instance, I believe the ethics of business often refers to being, we want to be more efficient, right? That's kind of maybe a spoken or unspoken ethic of business, but we don't waste money in the business world, right? And we use it efficiently, and we also do things, which means we do things as quickly as we can, and which means we try to move things along sometimes in a heavy-handed way. But if we care about the people that work for us, and we also have a moral stance, which I happen to, that self-actualization is good, or that what do you call it? Self-motivation and autonomy. That's the word I'm looking for. That autonomy is a good thing. Then our ethics, my ethics of trying to save money and get things done quickly, might come into conflict with my morals of someone's autonomy or sense of self-direction, right? So where this gets interesting, I think, is that I also see this as a conflict between position and trajectory. And what I mean by that is, if I'm going to buy a stock, I could be debating between two stocks. One is $100 and one is $300 a share, and I have $300 to spend. So they're very different positions, right, in terms of their current price per share. And I'm going to spend the same amount of money no matter which I buy, one share versus 300 shares. But what I care about is actually the trajectory. That $1 stock, I may be thinking that it's going to go to $2 in the next week, or in the next month or two, because of something, right? It's going to increase only by $1, but that dollar is 50%, obviously. So the $300 there becomes $600. Whereas if the other stock increases by $1 per share, then my 300 becomes 301, right? So what I care about more is the trajectory, the steepness of the climb of that stock, rather than its current positionality. And so where this gets into ethics and morals, I think, in team leadership, is there becomes a time when I really want a team to be more efficient. I want them to be doing more work faster, right? That's just sort of a common thing that we want out of our teams in our business place. And I can sometimes affect that position very quickly by being a command and control kind of leader. I can say, you go do this now, and you go do this now, and you go do, like I can create it like in a kind of an emergency. I become the boss, I become the military leader, and I'm moving people around in the position all over the place. But as I do that, I may be demotivating people, making them feel disempowered, removing autonomy, which may cause them to start looking for other work. It may also make them feel less likely to take initiative in the future because the last time they did, I overruled it, right? And I said, no, you go do this, or you work in this way. So sometimes the best thing I can do for the business is actually to focus on the trajectory, right? Rather than trying to get them a lot more efficient or do a lot more work in a very short period of time in the next week, I can say, what if they were just doing a little better week over week over week? They were doing you'll hear me talk about Kaizen, right? Continuous improvement. They're improving just a little bit over time. So this is one place where I feel like kind of the ethics of business and my personal morality might come into conflict, but then also the trajectory may be the best thing to do for the business in the long term, right? Because it may lower, if I'm going back to the team idea, if I'm improving how the team works over time, I'm actually going to lower the cost of running that team. I'm going to improve the performance of that team over time. I'm doing what my father used to say is I'm being philosophical about the issue. It's like I'm taking kind of the longer view and the more philosophical view rather than the urgent, immediate, tactical view. So I just wanted to talk to you about that because I know you likely face moral and ethical dilemmas at work all the time, and sometimes the ethics that you are being asked to embody in terms of the rules of the organization that you're working in may violate your personal morals. And I believe these issues are reconcilable. I also believe that when they are not, that our morality should win, that we should really be trying to make the world a better place and conforming the ethics of the institution in order to more closely match what truly is creating a better world. I would love to help you think through some of these things, by the way. I'm actually going to just do this today. We'll see how it works. I'm going to drop in a scheduling link, and you can just schedule some time with me. If you have an ethical or moral dilemma you want to think through, schedule some time with me. Or if you want to think through it together, do so in the comments. Because I think we all need each other with this. Anyway, happy Friday. This was my ill-formed idea for this Friday in July. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to talking to you again next week.